Just got to my house and unloaded this 4.6 liter 4-valve engine. So let's crack it open and see what I got. So as you guys saw in my last video, I think I got a great deal on that single overhead cam 4.6 liter V8 out of a New Edge Ford Mustang. And this week I was able to score this dual overhead cam V8. Don't know what it was out of, but it was manufactured in 1999, so it has the desirable C cylinder heads. And it also has a couple other things like shorty headers, as you can see. So let's take a look at this engine and see what I got myself into. So the engine is in good shape. It's pretty old. You can see the Intech badge there. And it has sat for a while in a garage. We'll look down one of the intake ports and you can see that there is definitely some rust. Looks like the previous owner put a new water pump on it because I can see how shiny that impeller is. This engine, much to my surprise, actually has a 6-bolt crankshaft, which I was under the impression that all dual overhead cam engines had an 8-bolt. So I don't know if these heads were just put on a single overhead cam engine or if it just came like this on the SUVs. Let's take these coil covers off. Next, I'll take the valve covers off. So after taking these valve covers off, you can see the passenger side bank is pretty clean. There's some dust in there, but nothing that I can't clean out. But surprisingly, not a lot of rust. The spark plug holes look very shiny and clean. But on the driver's side bank, you can see that one of the valve covers was not completely tightened down, and there might be a tiny bit of rust on the timing chain. Now we could just take this water pump off. Seems like it is sort of halfway on here with this little bolt that is incorrect. Appears to be in pretty good shape. Looks like it was brand new and they just put it in. Now it's time to take this timing cover off. Ooh. Yikes. Well, my timing cover just broke. Looks like that was already broken from the scratches and stuff, but wow, that thing's done. Good thing I have an extra timing cover. Wonder what awaits us behind this. Overall, inside here, it looks pretty good. I don't see any signs of fouling, and that oil pump looks as close to brand new as you can get. I'm thinking that this engine was built to put in a truck and then sat for years. It even looks like these timing chain guides might be brand new, but I will take these off and I'll be the judge of that. Even though there wasn't any signs of fouling on these guides, they are definitely not brand new. Now we'll take the fixed guides off, and these are an 8mm. This chain is very seized. Chains on this thing are kind of junk. Time to take the heads off. See what the other side of this head looks like. Wow. Dowel pin came right out with it. Whoa. Oh no. I was having some trouble rotating this engine, and as you can see, I think the cylinders in the front of the engine look fine, but when you get to the back, it's just some water must have gotten into one of those intake ports. Let's take a look at the other bank and see how that looks. And another set of Chinese headers with poor fitment. I don't know if it's just all of these shorty headers or if it's just the Chinese ones, but you cannot get the box end of the wrench over them. There is not enough space. So you have to use the open end. There we go. Those look like brand new gaskets, don't they? So the more I look at these heads, I think that they were brand new. Look at these. There is absolutely no carbon deposits whatsoever on these heads. I think that maybe these just had some water get into the intake port. Even from the front, they're in decent shape besides the intake ports. Probably covered either half. Oh. Yeah, I gotta get that bolt out. Taking a final look at the heads, they appear to be in great shape. The top of the combustion chambers are sort of telling me that these have never been run. I don't see any carbon deposits on these at all. Looking at the casting numbers, they read BF or BP. The guys in the 4.6 builders group seem to think that they just came out of a standard either Aviator or a town car. Overall, the valve train looks pretty good despite all the rust on the other parts. I'll definitely have to take these things apart and clean everything really good anyway and lap all the valves. So I just turned the engine over to check out the internals, and it looks like all of that rust and crap went all over my garage floor and all over one of my new gear wrenches. Head gaskets, although I can't really tell, they look pretty new. I mean, they don't have many signs of wear. Obviously, I'm not going to reuse them. And this stuff is just, this came out of the engine. This was not on them. I'm not going to take this whole engine apart like I did with the single overhead cam engine because I'm not really interested in the 6-bolt crank. I do want to take a look at the rods and see if they're stock rods. I believe that they are because I don't really see why they wouldn't be. Oops. I noticed a couple things when I look at this bottom end. First thing is there was definitely some water that got in. Another thing that I'm noticing is that these main caps only have 2 bolts per cap. I was under the impression that the 4 valves had 4 bolts. I know the Cobras did, so I don't know what the deal with this one is. Could have been a 2-valve engine, but does not have 4 bolts. Also, these are the standard cast rods and pistons. While I'm in here, I thought I might as well take a rod and piston out. Let's see. And that looks pretty brand new to me. Of course I got it messed up. And again, a brand new bearing. Come out, it looks like it is going to, even though it is tough to get out. And there is your stock Ford cast internals. And I'm noticing there were, I don't know if you could see that, there are spider webs in here. Well, let me know if you guys think I got my money's worth out of this engine. I think with the C heads and those headers and the valve covers and ignition covers and water pump, I think I got well over $150 worth of value for this engine. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to like and subscribe and see what these C cylinder heads will be going into very soon. Thanks.